Hey everyone, and welcome back. So, today we're looking at this explainer that tackles a completely universal struggle. You know the one, especially if you're trying to build a business or scale a network. It's that feeling where you just can't seem to get things done, even when it feels like you've got all the time in the world. It is so incredibly frustrating, right? You've got these huge ambitions, but your day-to-day progress is just stalling out. Well, we're going to look at why a lack of a clear system drags us into what's often called the valley of disappointment, and more importantly, how to master your own productivity to finally break out of it. Okay, let's dive into this. Now consider this simple, almost philosophical scenario from our source material. A man asks a clock, "Why do you run so slow?" I mean, that just perfectly captures that agonizing feeling when we're dragging our feet. Come on, we've all been there. Staring at the clock on the wall, or, let's be real, checking the time on our phones, feeling like the minutes are absolutely crawling while we actively avoid those high-impact tasks we know we need to be doing. Maybe it's your daily lead generation, making those crucial outreach calls, or just following up with prospects. We know these tasks are the absolute lifeblood of growth, but man, the friction just feels incredibly high, and the time stretches out in front of us in literally the most unhelpful way possible. And the core reason we do this actually comes down to a brilliant psychological observation. The more time we have to complete a task, the more we postpone it. It's crazy, but when you suffer from a lack of clarity and really a lack of a rigid system in your day, your brain actually tricks you. You sit down and think, oh, I've got the whole week to hit my outreach goals or connect with my network, and then bam. Suddenly, Sunday night rolls around and your pipeline is completely empty. We falsely believe that an abundance of time is this great luxury. We think it equals freedom. But actually, scratch that. Without a clear, structured system, that massive open space of time destroys our ability to execute. It just breeds complacency. And this brilliantly illustrates that this frustrating, everyday feeling of procrastination, it's not just some personal failing on your part. It is a formally recognized rule of productivity. When you're stuck in what a lot of folks in network marketing call the valley of disappointment, that really painful phase where your efforts just do not seem to match your results and critical tasks just drag on forever without moving the needle, well, you're usually falling victim to this exact phenomenon. You aren't necessarily lazy. You're simply operating without the right boundaries, which allows the work to just bleed into all your available time until it feels totally insurmountable. It's called Parkinson's Law, and it's defined as the observation that work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. I really want you to stop and think about the gravity of that statement. If you give a task a massive amount of room to breathe, it will inevitably take up all of that room. A super simple 10-minute task, like say sending a quick follow-up message to a new lead or organizing your daily contact list, suddenly becomes incredibly complex, daunting, and just tedious in our minds. We start overthinking the wording, we second-guess our strategy, we overcomplicate the whole process. And why? Simply because an open-ended, unstructured schedule gives us the space to do exactly that. You can actually see this contrast play out every single day in your own workflow. Think about it. If you give yourself all day to do a job, you instinctively pace yourself slowly. You get distracted by minor things, you take unnecessary breaks, you overthink the absolutely smallest details, and, sure enough, it takes the whole entire day. But if you tell yourself you only have a strict, totally non-negotiable 2-hour window to do your entire lead generation for the day, you'll find a way to do it in 2 hours. You become remarkably laser-focused, you cut out all the fluff, and you simply execute the system. The actual difficulty of the task didn't change at all, right? The only thing that changed was the boundary you placed around it. So the crucial point is that the ultimate weapon against this trap is surprisingly simple but highly effective. Give every task a deadline. You simply cannot leave your high-priority tasks open-ended if you actually want to see consistent, predictable growth in your business. Waiting to feel motivated or, waiting for the right time is just a losing strategy. You have to manufacture your own urgency. To beat Parkinson's Law, to finally escape that dreaded valley of disappointment, and to build a reliable daily system, you must intentionally constrain your time. Because deadlines force clarity, and clarity forces action. Which brings us to the ultimate question as we wrap up this explainer. What deadline will you set today? I want you to literally look at your business plan or your daily checklist right now. Find that one single task that drives your network forward but has just been lingering in the background. Maybe it's your cold outreach, your follow-ups, or finally building out your lead generation system. Apply Parkinson's Law in reverse. Shrink your window, give yourself a strict time limit, and watch exactly what happens to your focus, your momentum, and ultimately your results. Thank you so much for joining me to explore these ideas today, and I'll catch you on the next one.